Hi, Judith.
Hi.
Oh, what a lovely space you've got. That's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, this is it.
It's fantastic space, isn't it?
Yeah. So at the moment, that's without the blind.
Yeah, which I can see is very, very bright, isn't it?
Yes.
First of all, thank you for buying an Athena roof lantern blind from WindowTreat. And you had it installed roughly, what, a couple of months ago? Is that right?
Probably July, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and how would you describe your space before you had your experience of the space before you had the blind, and how do you use this space that you're in?
So it's basically a kind of living area. We've got the football table and the sofa, and you can look out of the window at the garden. So it's a family room, and which is what we've been planning to have for the last 15 years. And now the kids are 15, they're almost leaving home, but we now have a family room. But when we had it built, I walked in and I thought, uh-oh, this is too bright. And although we had a worry because it's south facing, there is a big distance between the ceiling and the actual lantern. So we didn't think there would be so much light coming in, but turns out as you walk through, it's direct sunlight. It's quite a glare, and I particularly didn't like it. It just almost gave me a headache walking in. I can't spend time in this room whenever the sun's shining, which is a shame because we get quite a bit of sun down here in the south. So that was, I love the room, but I was thinking I'm going to struggle to hang out in it for too long on a sunny day.
Well, congratulations, first of all, on creating this amazing space. And so you described the issues that it's so bright and uncomfortable. So then you contacted WindowTreat. What was your experience of meeting Chris, our electric roof lantern blind specialist, and how did he help you?
I think it was just, yeah, he answered all the questions. The Zoom meeting was useful. I'd had lots of other interactions with different people on the phone or whatever. And it worked for me. I worked out what to do. I was worried about the type of blind, whether to have it so it was a blackout blind or whether to have it so there wasn't a lot of screening at all. And he helped me think it through. And the fact that he said if I'd had it too not blackouted enough, it would be like almost a light box, and that would create a problem. So from talking it through, I think we managed to get the right sort of material. So that was great. And we were really happy. I think it's a number 3, and you still get to see the outside, but it does the job at cutting the glare completely, and it cuts the heat. So he was very helpful. That was great.
And do you remember why you chose WindowTreat over all the other companies you discussed it with?
Well, there was an element of cost. There was an element of my builders saying they weren't going to do it. They wanted someone else to do it. So we did look at a DIY one, and they said they weren't going to get involved with anything that they would have to fit, which was my initial thought. And then I had some other people I looked at where the cost was almost double the amount of WindowTreat. So we didn't have the money for that anyway. So yeah, it just worked. It was the right amount of money, and people were going to come in and do it. So we'd have professionals who do it every day rather than our builders doing it, who said, well, as they don't do the job every day, they haven't had the confidence to do it.
Yeah, and then you met Martin, our head installer for electric roof lantern blinds, and Brian as well. So they came and did the survey and came to the installation. So can you describe what your experience was there?
Really nice people. He's did a professional job, very chatty, good company to have for about an hour when he came in, and I had total confidence he was going to do a good job, and he did.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you got the confidence from the survey initially, and he came back, and you weren't disappointed during the installation as well. I mean, they're first rate, and we're very, very proud. We're lucky to have them, actually. So, so they're real assets to WindowTreat on that. And the big question: has the roof lantern blind actually solved the problem? Has it worked as expected?
I think it has. You can see here it's quite glary now, and that's not that pleasant to be sitting underneath. So I'm going to put the lantern on. So it's attached to the wall so that my children don't lose it under the sofa. And it's gradually now just coming across in a James Bond fashion. It'll probably take about a minute. And it just takes away the glare and gives us a nice light feeling. It doesn't black out, so it's not claustrophobic. It totally works. Yeah.
You've got a large roof lantern there. It's if my memory serves me right, it's about 2.4 meters by 3.9 meters. So
Yeah,
now you're into really robust roof lantern blinds to be able to achieve the cloth finish required.
Yeah.
Importance to span that whole area. Oh, here comes the blind. So this is the Athena roof lantern blind. And that's got 30 kilos of tension across the fabric just to keep it flat.
There we go.
Lovely. So what have you, when you've shown your friends, what's the feedback? Do they, with this new space that you've created and improved even with this blind?
They love it. Well, when they came in and I didn't have the blind, the girls thought I needed a blind and the boys were like, oh, it's fine, it's just fine to let the light in. But everyone now is saying it looks good, it's just relaxing. And interestingly, we were talking about whether we wanted blinds for the windows, and actually I think we can get away without the blinds for the windows. And we're just going to stick with one on the ceiling because we can see the garden outside, and we don't really want anything else. So in fact, it saved us a lot of money getting other blinds. I think we'll just stick with this.
Well, I'm delighted you're happy. And the $1 million question is, would you recommend WindowTreat?
I would, yeah. I mean, from my own personal experience, it's been great. So I personally say it's everything we wanted.
Music to our ears, of course, and I'm delighted you're so happy with the blind. And I've got to say, it looks amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judith.